faster for Nigel Mansell. He was right to stay out. Now Berger is away on his own now. And Senna again. Let's see if there's replay. Here it is.
Yeah, and Mansell, a very desperate attempt, but he's got to see the black flag as well. Senna, I think Mansell was alongside him. Senna, without any doubt, caused that. My mind likes it again, but Senna just need to move in when Mansell was filling the road inside him. That was quite clearly down Senna, and that may, I'm sure, that could well cost Senna the World Championship, because he's taken away a lot of points with Mansell being black flagged. Senna didn't need to defend against Mansell. He certainly would have been able to see that number 27 was being black flagged. He therefore knew he didn't have to race Mansell, and that is very unprofessional driving with Senna, I'm afraid, taking himself out of the race, and he has thrown, quite possibly, thrown his championships away. And just look at him. He knows it. He is distraught with himself, I am absolutely sure. Irrespective of what he says later, I'm sure he will be quite distraught with himself for, after all, attacking a car that you weren't even racing anymore, because you know, even though he hasn't gone into the pits, he's being black flagged, and for sure he'll be out of it.
But now Gerhard Berger closing up on the lap. Jonathan Palmer leads the Portuguese Grand Prix very convincingly on lap 51 from Alain Prost second. Johansson is up into third position. Fourth is Riccardo Patrese. Fifth is Boutsen. So both the new Williams are in the points. In sixth position it's Nannini. Seventh is Martini. Jonathan Palmer, who is shortly going to be lapped by Gerhard Berger, that you are looking at on his way to his first Grand Prix victory of 1989. Palmer in eighth position. Let's say a few very complimentary and very well-deserved things about Stefan Johansson and the British Onyx team with its Belgian money backing, because Stefan Johansson is in a fine third place. Patrese is definitely catching the Onyx, no doubt about that. Patrese, who, like Alain Prost, has had a superb 1989 Grand Prix season in the Williams, is making the most of this new car. They were making some suspension adjustments to it yesterday, and it looks as though there's going to be a change very shortly. And then there's Patrese going for third, pulls out from the slipstream of Stefan Johansson's Onyx and takes that third position. Car number 6, FW13, Williams Renault, its first Grand Prix, now in third position. Here's a replay of Mansell.
Yes, and his problem was he jinked round the wrong side of the Ferrari mechanics, because those people as he went round were actually waiting to do the left-hand wheels of the car, but he didn't get pushed back. He went back to his own reverse gear, and I don't think that's an infringement of the rules, but then the rules are so petty and silly about things like that. I can't be sure whether it's being pushed backwards in the pits, which we know is not allowed, or whether it's going backwards in the pits at all. If under your own power says it's okay, then he didn't break any rules, because definitely they left the car alone. They went towards it, but then they let him come back under his own steam.
It is indeed forbidden to go backwards anyway. Pushed back, driven back, blown back, whatever, you transgress the rules if you go backwards. So that was the reason. It's irrelevant now because Mansell is out. Now, who's gone off there? From the yellow coving, it's either Patrese or one of the Minardis. Well, as ever, it's all happening at the end of the race. That banner obliterates us. And car number 5 there is Thierry Boutsen in the pits. And from the way he's being manhandled, now, is he in the car or not? I think Thierry Boutsen is out of the Portuguese Grand Prix. This is lap 62. Berger leads Prost by 24 seconds, and Patrese is missing, and Johansson is back in third place. And now you're looking at Alain Prost coming up to lap Jonathan Palmer, who is in the points, because Jonathan Palmer in the Tyrrell, who is about to be caught and lapped by Alain Prost, is in 6th position. Berger leading Prost, the man you're looking at now, double world champion and 4 times a winner this year, 5 times second this year. He's going to make it 6. 25 seconds behind Berger, 26 seconds ahead of Johansson, who is going to be on the podium for the first time since he drove for McLaren, and that, of course, was last year. Now you can see what it's like to be driving with a Grand Prix winner. Gerhard Berger with the camera mounted on his car, out of turn 7, climbing at about 130 miles an hour underneath the banner there, turn 8. Now he's at the highest part of the course, goes through the left and the right and the left into turn 11, and as he does so, you will see the long straight stretching ahead of you, and you will know that you, with Berger, are starting the last lap of the Portuguese Grand Prix and riding with the potential winner.
Yes, indeed. And what a tremendous change it is to see Ferrari winning on merit, and a really healthy, refreshing change after the McLaren domination has become really quite monotonous, because this is their second Grand Prix win on merit this season over McLaren, because Hungary was certainly, they won on merit, they beat the McLaren fair and square, and they've done it again today. Doesn't matter that there was a contretemps between Mansell and Senna. Mansell was quicker, and he'd passed and pulled away from Senna once. He was in the process of passing him for the second time, and then threatening to pull away after what will always now be a controversial pit stop. But then Senna ended the problem of discussion and everything by driving into Mansell, who was already committed on his inside with the overtaking manoeuvre. So a dramatic and exciting race, a tremendous win for Ferrari and for Gerhard Berger, who's had such a dismal season till now, that he'll be well thrilled with that, and altogether a good Grand Prix entertainment.
Gerhard Berger comes out of the last corner of the last lap to win the third Grand Prix for Ferrari of 1989, and the first for himself, the Portuguese Grand Prix. A wave from Berger, bags of cheers from the crowd. Berger is obviously delighted, and it's going to be, subject to official confirmation, Alain Prost 30 seconds behind in second place and making the World Championship almost his. Stefan Johansson in third position, Alessandro Nannini fourth, Pierluigi Martini fifth, and Jonathan Palmer gets a point for himself and Tyrrell by finishing in sixth position. That is Prost finishing second. Ferrari wins, McLaren in second place, but Onyx in third position on the podium for the first time. In the World Championship, Alain Prost has increased his score to 75 points, 24 ahead of Ayrton Senna in second place. Nigel Mansell still third with 38 points, Riccardo Patrese fourth on 28, and then Boutsen and Alessandro Nannini. And in the Constructors' World Championship, Ferrari have now moved up into second place ahead of Williams.
As soon as the Portuguese Grand Prix finished, the stewards of the meeting assembled to consider Nigel Mansell's botched pit stop and is reversing back along the pit lane, which is against the rules. Their decision is bound to cause a political uproar. It is that Nigel Mansell and Ferrari should jointly be fined $50,000 and that the governing body of the sport should consider excluding Mansell from a future Grand Prix. Needless to say, it's the talk of Portugal, but in a week's time, there's the Spanish Grand Prix. Will Mansell be there?